Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? Welcome to the Nick Walsh TV channel. We are live, I believe, for the last time this year, and we are going to complete the $50,000 Spin and Go challenge. So it's been kind of a long road, you guys. It's taken some time to get to this stage, and we've learned a lot, and we've improved a lot. However, I'm feeling a little bit bummed out because over this weekend, I put in some volume off stream. I was obviously trying to get us within throwing distance, spitting distance. I don't know what the right word is. I was trying to get us close to finishing so that we could finish on stream today. And it went really bad. It went bad with a capital ba. Ultimately, didn't cost us that much in dollars, but did cost us maybe $200, like 20 buy-ins or so. Did cost us a lot in EV, though. Our EV has taken a massive, massive hit. But, as always, we're trying to keep it profesh. So what I did was I sat down and I marked up a bunch of hands that I wasn't sure about in the process of having these rough sessions. And this morning I did a review, and it was like good. It was all very, very good. These were spots that we were losing. We were calling in sort of what I would consider pretty standard spots, but it's always good to check your work. And we're making good decisions, and like a lot of the call downs were correct. We don't ever want to be too much of a slave to this sort of GTO. Like, I looked it up and the computer told me it was good. But in the situations where I was looking it up, I was doing it appropriately to the opponent that we were playing, right? So against a lot of regs who I really respect, a lot of the call downs I was making, a lot of the spots where I was losing a lot of EV were all very sound. And just generally, throughout this challenge, we've seen a lot of roller coaster situations. We've seen long stretches where we breaking even. We've seen long stretches where we're slightly downswing. And the one thing I would say with absolute certainty is you'll just go on runs in the new format where you're just running into the best hand all the time. Post-flop, pre-flop, whatever, and we're in one of those right now. Let's take a look at the graph, and I'll show you guys what I am talking about. So let's have a little zoom. Look, this graph is going up. We're winning way more chips than we're losing. Like I said, throughout this section, we saw a huge improvement, and now we're kind of in this massive sort of spiral down. Sam, thank you very much for the follow. And this is not the first time this has happened, right? We've seen dips that look like this before. We've seen these little downswings. They're often followed by pretty significant upswings. It just happens. And in this stretch here to here, a lot was happening. So we were actually running below EV, so we were losing more than we should have done in the all-in department. An interesting conversation I had with Texas Tomo was a source of fascination because he reminded me as well that when you're running bad in your all-ins, you are actually neglected of chip EV from that game as well. What does that mean? So let's say that we are playing a bunch of spins and we always bust first, right? We get it in, we lose a flip, and we don't have a chance to continue in the game. We're being neglected not only of the chips that we could have won had we won the flip, which is a 50-50, doesn't really change too much in the grand scheme of things, but then we're also being neglected of the heads up, which is the part where we're actually excelling the most, right? We're best at heads up. We make the most chips in heads up. So in these stretches where you're like running bad in all ins, and you're just like running into the best hand, like you're shoving blind v blind with ace 10, they always have ace king, all that stuff, there's a lot of compounding negativity, right? Because you're getting it in bad, and it's outside of your control. You're doing everything right, like 100% push. You're never going to avoid that spot, right? You're losing the all-in, which means you're actually running below EV always, right? Because even if they have you dominated, you're still entitled to some of that EV, and then you're losing the opportunity to recover additional EV. So in stretches like this, we just take a massive hit, and it affects our chip EV. But you guys have seen throughout all of this, in any of these situations where we downswing, we found a way to come straight back up. I'm just very sad that it's happening at the very end of what it was a very, very good stretch, and it's coming at the end of the challenge, which of course is going to mar the whole challenge. However, like I said before, if you filter out the early games from our challenge where we were still adjusting to the new format, we're still winning like 18, 19, 20 plus chips a game, which is very respectable for the new format, because this game is, if anything, what we've discovered, very, 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 very brutal. Sam, thank you very much for the sub. That's very kind of you. Sam's got a question. How do you study for spins? So a combination of lots of things. So I actually created my own Chart pack, which I'm not going to open up right now because we've actually got stars open as well. I created a chart pack that I built myself. I built it using a program called Simple Preflop. So that is a very good resource for preflop stuff. When I'm going into the post-flop, I use GTO Wizard. You can use a combination of both. And the GTO Wizard has been particularly good when I want to look up more complex spots because you can drag and drop hand histories directly into GTO Wiz, and then it'll approximate the nearest spot and try and give you some information about whether or not you played that well, not only pre but also post. So very useful for that. In addition to that, I've done some work with Team Boss, or actually Team Boss provided me some really good tools that help me spot where my frequencies are off, so I know which spots I want to study more often. And also did some work with Team 651. And Texas Tomo, and he's helped me do some database analysis as well, just looking at my own results and doing something similar, and talking through how he thinks we should make adjustments to my game. We've only done one of those actually overall. I'd love to do more of that with Texas Tomo, but the way the end of the year has panned out, I've just been super duper busy. But we're good. We've learned a lot, guys, and we've become a much better Spin and Go player for it. And now we gotta dig our way out of this annoying little spot here. Hopefully we'll do that today. Demo, thank you for hanging out with us today. Tom and Raksha, thank you for taking care of us as always, guys. Big shout out for the mods this year. Appreciate you guys. I will be sending you Christmas presents this year again. Steven says, I need some entertainment for this last work day. Let's go for it. Okay, let's get it on. Thank you, Steven. Thanks for popping in, buddy. Sam W, thank you again for the sub. It's very kind. So now we're going to play Spin and Goes, guys. We have about 50 games to go. Let's take a look at the stats. 4,951. We're trying to get to 5K games, so 49 games to play. You guys can see this number is where we're at, minus $810. Again, with this chip EV, we are expected to actually be losing. However, I will add that our performance in the highest multipliers has been extremely good, and this particularly large downswing is in part due to the fact that we're just miles below EV. I think we're about 50 binds under expectations still, even to this point. And also, this doesn't include rakeback. So with rakeback, guys, we're still winning. We're still winning 8, 9, 10, about $450, something like that. If we kind of lock this next bonus, it'll be like 5-ish, which is about a 1% ROI for the challenge, which is not that ridiculous for a Spin and Go situation, but obviously still not where I wanted us to be. But that's it. You just need to play volume in this game. You know what I mean? The new format is so high variance, so high variance in all the ways that I just described. At the end of the day, 5,000 games is actually probably not going to be a true, accurate reflection of our overall skill in this format. With that said, let's open up our first table. So $10 spins. Let's get one table on the go, then we'll fire up two. Thank you for the good lucks over there on YouTube, Tom. No problem, Sam. If you have any more questions, hit me up. I'm always happy to discuss these things. Believe it or not, despite our results, we have actually made significant strides towards bettering ourselves in this format. It has been very, very difficult to adjust for the much faster format. And when I say difficult, I think the study has been fine. We actually adapted quite quickly. More difficult to understand how what a normal situation looks like over 5,000 games. And I'm starting to think that something more like 10,000 games would be a better, more accurate reflection on what we might be able to accomplish long term. And yeah, we're not folding yet, of course. The trick here is how often does our opponent have an ace or a king? I have a tendency not to believe, but this is an unknown player, so this is an interesting way to bluff. This could also be a 4, I suppose. Check river would be cool. Not sure if we call a river bet or not. But we will have the best hand very often given that pre-flop action. Nice spot for the 6s here. Is today really going to be the day? Yes, it will. You know what's interesting about the 5K thing, Tom, is like we spoke about this when we started, right? I was speaking to my moderators, my lovely moderators, and I said, I don't know what to call this thing. I want people to appreciate that even though we're playing $10 games, we're still going to gamble a lot of money. The 50K challenge, that's, and challenge was an interesting word to use because, again, I don't know if there's much that's particularly challenging about this outside of literally adapting to the new format and trying to get better at what is essentially mostly flash Texas Hold'em Spin and Goes. And then ultimately, it kind of came down to the wire, right? We had a fair number of games to finish before the end of the year, but had we started this in January like I wanted, challenge is probably a very strong way to describe it, because playing 5,000 games over 12 months would have been a much more leisurely endeavor, and even over 6 months, that would have been a number of spins that I think would have been completely fine for us to play. But with all the other stuff going on with work with PokerStars, we're gonna. There's other things happening. We're not just sitting at home streaming every day. Otherwise, we would have got through that. No problem at all. We're going to two-table, Tom. Yeah, we're going to two-table. The 8 plays here. That's annoying. No, we're going to two-table, Tom. I'm just trying to get my head together here, because I really want to finish strong, and I wanted to have a chat with you guys before we cracked into it as well. Sam says, yeah, I was playing some the other day, and I was thinking about how you can be good at it and study an only person I know who is good at spins is yourself, so I appreciate the answer. Of course, man, of course. I mean, there are some other really fantastic spin players. I mean, a lot of these guys we have marked in yellow at the 10s now, I would say are exceptional Spin and Go players, which for a long time people would have laughed at the sentence exceptional Spin and Go players, but these guys are playing very, very, very good poker. They're very, very difficult to beat. And in Spin and Goes, when you play a lot of yellow players, the way that I label them, it's extremely difficult to beat the game, because they're like brick walls, right? Like even if you do have a slight edge, it's never quite enough. This is an interesting spot, right? He's gonna have diamonds. He's gonna have a 5 or a deuce. I think we can actually get away with floating when we have 2 of our cards to the 5. This is going a little bit off-piste. But let's see how he reacts now. Yeah, if he's going to slow down on the turn, we're going to start bluffing, and I will probably end up sort of committing to this. If he has a 5 or a deuce, he's probably not going to feel super great about this turn anyway. And then we commit to the diamonds. Can we just commit the diamonds? Can we just commit the rests? I don't expect him to fold a diamond, but I think he will fold a 5 or a 6 or 2 pair plus, so let's go for it. Nice, good move. Again, very off-piste floating that flop, but when people have very unbalanced lead strategies, I think they're, and especially when they've under-repped an ace-high board, just feels good, doesn't it? Just to play the hand in a way that wins us more than the average bear. Oh, that's such an annoying turn. GG in the first game. Let's fire another one. That is true, Raksha. I'd like to imagine that watching these streams is a good way to learn. It will be really helpful. I wish we had time to do it before the end of the year, but I'm going to do another session with Texas Tomo, and we're going to go through database, and we're going to take a look at sort of win rates and also frequencies. And in Spin and Goes, that's a really, really fast way to find what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. This one is just going to be a steal. We're going to go for, let's go for 3 here. I actually don't remember if this one's in here. I'm going to take it out against the 2 regs anyway. Suit Queen 5 might still be an open there. But, you know, I think it's fair to say that as we finish this challenge, I think we are probably one of the best Spin and Go players at this level at the very least. You know, we haven't battled it higher since the change has been made. Obviously, that's something we could aspire to do next year. Would be interested in that. It's tough out here, though, guys. Yeah, it's a grind. These guys are good. I mean, I will also say that previously the $10 stakes we were crushing by like a huge margin when we were playing reg speeds. A very, very big margin, I should add. Obviously, the move to faster Spin and Goes means that the edge is overall going to be smaller for every stake. But also, when the change happened, I know a lot of much higher stakes regs who moved down to the 10s because they're playing a similar amount of actual dollars, you know, through the system. A lot of players playing 25s and 50s were happy to come down and play 10s after the change. I think we're going to 1.5 turn. All right. The check raise on this turn, I think, is extremely strong from Chukata. That would be an interesting spot to have a bluff. I think actually the way we played the hand is going to be a fair amount of ace highs. So like check raising like a second pair there or something is pretty weird, right? 7. Let's do 8. Let's just make this 3. We're calling a shove if we need to. What's up, Eagle Hunter? Good to see you. 10-4. This is actually a little bit too wide. This limp is going to be slightly too wide at 9 big blinds effective. See if we get a free one. Free flop. Cheap flop. Nope. That was a little bit sloppy. It's not the end of the world, but that's definitely a little bit too wide against a reg at that stack depth to limp. We're limping super wide, don't get me wrong. This one will probably still sneak in here. I think almost definitely still be a limp. Turning a decent pair. What's up, Nayama? Interesting. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be a 9 that often. It might be a tray. I don't think they play a 9 like this, so I think we can get called by a tray or a 6. All right, wish me luck. Here we go. We're going to have a lot of missed draws in position, right? We're going to have missed clubs and stuff. The jack plays here. Very good value bet. A lot of people would have missed that one. You got to be careful there, though, right? We're not just always going to do that, but it was the action that indicated probably a good spot for us. It was the action that made us happy to play our hand that way. Ace king. We're going to sneak in a trap here against Chokada. Good player, very aggressive. They're going to be aggro enough at this stack depth. They're going to try and exploit us at the stack depth pretty often. Now our hand is nice and under-repped. And against a reg, I don't think we ever really mess about here. Against the unknowns, we might give them a little rope, but I think if they have a queen or a deuce or hard draw or straight draw, they're going to blast off here a lot of the time. So we might as well start betting, get this underway. Yeah. And, you know, the check raise here is going to be tons of bluffs. I think it's going to be some flush draws, but it's mostly going to be hands like 3-4 or 4-5 or something like that. So let's try and keep the bluffs in. Queen deuce is actually quite a commonly shoved hand. Let's keep it balanced. I think this is how we would bluff turn. I think queen deuce is a hand that usually shoves pre-flop versus limp at 10. So again, it's not going to be two pair barely at all. Ace deuce is in pre-flop every time. Yeah, this is a good spot. We did the right thing here. I think checking turn is not going to work either though, because then we're giving the draws a free card, which is no good. King queen is definitely a call. Jack 7 is fine to push here. Pretty textbook from Chokata. All right. Let's get another game going. And then we'll start loading up some more tables in a sec, gang. That was pretty clean though. The Jack 6 value shove was very cheeky, right? You got to keep your eye on, you know, if your kicker actually plays there, right? We're not going to do that with any old 6. But if you can boil it down and you think they have a two pair there, two pairs is hard to fold sometimes, and also on a texture where we can have a lot of misdraws. Doesn't benefit us if they have misdraws, right? Because we're not getting value for misdraws, so we have to deduce that they have an actual made hand that will call us there, and there's conceivably a 6 and a tray that will hero there pretty often. I would say the 6 might not even be a hero call necessarily. Wow, what's this? Oh wow, Inner Psycho. Inner Psycho, the hero, the legend. 5 years ago. Jeez. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, wow. Been streaming since, wow. I mean, look, so that's not even right. 2019 is when we signed for Stars. Thank you. Hey, let's give it a spin. It's about time. How you doing, mate? Welcome. Good to have you here, dude. Welcome. Thank you. Let's give it a spin. Hope you've been well. Hope your streams have been fun. King Queen no good here against the Ace Jack. Definitely a call here, though, guys. Definitely against the push. We're going to have tons of equity, and often actually with the asymmetrical stacks there, they can shove a lot of their Jack 10 suited, Jack 9 suited, that kind of thing. So we're winning. I know. How could you not follow the second best Spin and Go player in the world? It's unbelievable. Welcome, mate. Good to see you. Hope the streams have been fun. Oh, by the way, I meant to say, Hampus, I started playing a spin the other day for the a slot machine, the other day for Snowball, the Snowball promotion that Stars is doing, right? Obviously I cleared the poker one like instantaneously because I'm playing so many spins, but I was trying to get through the casino side of it. I came across a game called Holy Hand Grenade 2. I don't know if you've ever played it on stream, but it's fun. It's a good game, and like I might just be saying that because I won a bunch, but like the mechanics of it I think are very good, and it feels like it rewards you a decent amount. But if you haven't had a chance yet, Holy Hand Grenade 2, mate, was very, very cheeky. I had a lot of fun playing that one. That's true, Tom. Yeah, the rules will be changed for next time. The rules will be changed. Christmas Day 2020. Was he streaming on Christmas Day 2020? Jeez. He really is an inner psycho. Your word's not mine, Tom. King Queen has a chance here. Look at the flop. Can't lose. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's literally impossible to lose this hand, guys. Woof. Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof. Yeah, I mean, if we could have an upswing the same size as the biggest downswing during this stream, oh my God, having a great time with Spin and Goes. At one point, our biggest downswing in buy-ins, I think, was 160 buy-ins at one point, and 100 buy-ins under expectation in chips. Can you imagine if we did that the other way around? Oh, that was a call. Oops. Holy Hand Grenade is a great one. Prince Studio's finest. It is very good. I like that they've got different little features. That's always fun. It doesn't sound that friendly. I think the design is good. Like I actually think the design of the slot is very clever. It's pretty. The actual artwork and stuff is very cool. The mechanics of the game I think are super fun, and I did hit an absolute blaster on it as well. I can't remember how big it got, but it was big. Hello, John Edwards. Yeah, we're committed here. We actually missed a call, by the way, guys, which was pretty gnarly. This is not how we want to kick off our last stream, is it? We missed a shove here for, is it this one? Yeah, 6-4. So this is mandatory call here. We just need to get the chips in here. Our total stack is 2.75, and there's an extra half a big blind. So it's actually a pretty big blunder, to be honest. The whole point of one tabling is so we get locked in, but I'm too chill for the end of the year. Too chill. She's not done yet, Raksha, not quite. All right, we have a 2x multiply. I don't know these players. I don't think so anyway. Need my super advanced heads-up display to tell me how many hands I've played with them. Pocket Kings, can we get any juice from Juicy J? Okay. Any juice from Juicy J. Let's keep it balanced with the C-bets. Probably could have given him some rope there as well, potentially. 2x multiplier, let's just push. This is going to be perfectly profitable. Beck will probably overfold a lot in these spots too, which is lovely. We've played a smidge with these guys, just a smidge. We can push a6 here. I think probably better against the unknowns just to have them in, and then we'll reassess. Let's fire up another game here, guys. And let's take a look at two tables. Yeah, she's next door on the laptop as we speak. Speak of the devil. Hi, Ruthie. Hi, what is this guy doing? 3x open raise button. Okay, random one. Yeah, now what are we doing here? Let's do a steal like this. Let's call this push over here. We like gambling, don't we, chat? We like gambling. Spade! Ah, the 9 is good! All jokes aside, that is probably GTO. As much as it's probably doesn't feel great. Quick call there. Quick call. And on the river, we have the nuts. It's impossible to lose from here, right? This guy's never folded a 10 or a 6 in his life. He's already tilted because he feels like we're taking too long with our decisions. He already threw a clock at us. So now we're going to take our time, and we're going to bang it in. We're getting called by a 10 or a 6. Textbook. Did you guys see that? Textbook. The textbook maneuver. They base Holy Hand Grenade on Worms Armageddon, the old game. I actually knew that. Yeah, no, I was a huge fan, a huge Worms fan. Like the original side-scroller, non-3D. Oh, man, so good. Side-scroller is not the right word. You know what I mean? You know, 2D, two-dimensional is what I mean to say. Can't believe we're about to win this pot. Let's go. Yeah, I actually love those games, dude. I thought Worms was such a peak game. Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. Just the pusher. We're gonna take some of our better suited aces and we're gonna ISO non all in. We're gonna c-bet this one for one big blind though. No, Ruthie's too shy. All right, 7-4 suited. We can push profitably. This is a reg, so we will default to the push. And hopefully, ideally, when you get called, you're not dominated by literally just ace-4. That sucks. Still a good push. This is what I'm talking about, guys. You go on these stretches where they have the hand to call. Like the ace-4 is definitely a call. It's like absolutely correct. Definitely no shade on that. The move is very good. The move is very, very good. That sucks over there, too. The move is fine, but they have the one offsuit ace that dominates you, and it's like, ugh, just ruins your EV for no reason, even though you've done the right thing. Like, for a long stretch in the middle, guys, when we were running better, a lot of the hands that we were like, we would shove Jack 10 suited and they'd have like ace 5 and you'd call it and it's like fair. It's like super fair. Two hands that very easily could beat each other and it's just totally acceptable. You know what I mean? And so even in the spots where you were kind of running into it, you still stole back loads of EV. Isabel 87, thank you very much for the follow. How you doing? Pleasure to have you here. One sec, guys. Let me see what we got going on here again. Yeah, sorry. It really tilts me when the your background isn't completely black when the tables go. Is it possible to raise? Do you just float? That's a good river. That's a good river. Do we raise is a question. 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7 is still a possibility, I guess. We can still get called by 2 pairs, I suppose, but we're kind of playing our hand face up. Interesting river bet. Yes. Or a moo into the micro, actually, that's right. We got a moo from her last time. Chocata, blind v blind. Chocata, blind v blind. Ace deuce is definitely a mandatory call against me. I'm going to be shoving way worse than that. One big blind bet on the left takes it down every time. Let's go. Perfect pushing hand for 5 bigs on the rights. We're not folding to a min raise here. Not with such a beautiful hand. 9-7 offsuit. Literally the nuts. This is definitely a push on the right as well. 2 barrels from the unknown on this board I think is pretty scary. We're gonna get away from that one. Jack 4 of spades got to go in here against the reg at 5-ish. Big blind's effective. It's definitely GTO. And 100% call from the Queen Jack. Here you go. Another good example. Queen Jack of clubs. Absolutely 100% of the time you have to call here, especially against the reg. Literally never folding this hand, and they miraculously have Ace Jack. And it just cooks your EV. So you just end up playing like 300 games, and you look like the biggest whale that's ever played poker before because all these spots are just awful for you. But it works in both directions. We have had our fair amount of, you know, like stringing out coolers against specific players, right? Which is great for us. Mandatory versus reg. Ah, we got him this time. We got him this time. Min raise at the stack is terrifying. And we managed to win that game on the right. Lovely. I think we're going to run this one, guys. I think this one's mandatory again as well. Might consider missing the push there against an unknown, but honestly, they're going to overfold too, so it's pretty cool all around. Getting a walk is nice. We won't be folding ace-8. 2x multi. Let's do this. Let's do this. Running into ace-10. There you go. Mandatory push, by the way. Mandatory push with the ace-8. We do manage to win the all-in regardless, which is always a treat. But the Queen Jack suited again is going to be very profitable. Just running into King Jack sucks. Just got to play more volume, guys. That's it. Oh, hello. Jack 10. Against this guy, we can definitely consider just folding this one against this player specifically. Like, he's not going to shove as many of the suited connectors and stuff, I imagine. So probably by default, this is actually going to be okay. We do manage to get another entry into the snowball draw. We actually had a fair number of draws in the last one, and we didn't get anything particularly good. This will be like 4 big blinds or something like that. We can push this one. This will be cuspy, but it's got to go. Oh, man, King 7 snap call. What are you taking so long for? No good in the all-in. Folds, folds. Queen 10 gets it through. King 6 is too good to fold. We're not going to push it, though. We will be folding to a jam. That's fine. Might have saved ourselves a buy-in. Yeah, we got to call that one. We're getting free rolled here. That kind of sucks. Can't call that one. We're calling Jack 8 of hearts if we need to. Way too juicy for the faster clock here to folds. It's a very juicy one. For just a couple biggers. Speaking of a couple biggers. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's how you get it in good right there, chat. Less than one big. Oh, good. 10-8's a push. King Jack is an easy all-in here for the few big blinds we have remaining. We're ahead of the guy with the most chips, which is always nice. Chopping against King 4, but it's only for the smaller side. A7! Let's go. That will do. That'll do, donkey. Sorry, I wasn't calling him a donkey. I was just quoting Shrek. That'll do. King 5, that'll do. I should get hotkeys set up as well, actually. I want to hotkey the all-in. I do a lot of clicking to be all-in in a game where I'm all-in all the time. Just need to work out what my hotkey is going to be. It's got to be something that I don't usually press. Escape key. Escape might be a fun one. I don't think I press escape much when I'm playing poker, like if at all. Wonder if I can set that up. Let me see. Hotkeys. Here we go. This might be dangerous to try and set up. I might try and do this while we're live on stream. One sec. Call. This is just a push. Mouse jump to table. Oh, betting hotkeys. That's what I want. Add new hotkey. No. The escape key. There we go. And the formula is auto bet. Formula, 3 big blinds. Push if I bet 100% of stack. I'm not sure how to do this. I don't know how to do this. We made top pair, chat. Yo, Tony, what's up, man? Merry Christmas. Great to see you, buddy. Oh man, speaking of old friends, Tony 4 Warriors. Tony the 4th Warrior. Tony the 4th Warrior. Chokata, I can't fold this hand. I'd really appreciate if you didn't have jacks. Okay, let me see. So, pre-flop only. All the things. How do I do this? Ooh, King 10's going to be close one here on the left. Against Chokata, we probably are doing okay. Okay, if it feels cuspy, let's just leave it out. It could be a total fish here, but oh, okay, wait, there's instructions here. One sec, guys. Simple formula examples. So okay. All right, call, folds. Jack 9's a good hand. Okay, I think I know how to do this. Let me do it while we're not two-tabling. 99 big blinds. Okay. We doing this just pre-flop? Let's just do it pre-flop for now. And let's see if it works. Okay, so if I press escape key, I should just be all in here. Watch this. Hey, it works! Hey, what's up? Eagle Star. We're trying to finish the challenge today. That's right. I mean, I say trying. We're definitely going to finish today. It's like 50 games. We'll be all right. And now we have our fancy new hotkey. Our fancy new hotkey, which, by the way, guys, is not that fancy. It's been around for a long time. Basically, I just bet 99 big blinds. Watch this, guys. Watch this. Mouse hand is free. Hotkey run good. Watch, hotkey run good. Yeah, we're going to finish today. This one is, again, I feel like we've seen this one twice now. I'm going to look this one up. I'm going to put in the folds. We'll mark it for review, though. Sorry, guys, let me pull this over here so it doesn't get in the way again. It's always annoying. Zoom it out a bit. I think Queen 5 suited might be a steal there. I'm not sure. Mark for review. Oh yeah, hotkey magic. It's gonna take some getting used to though as well, or I'm gonna start tapping it on accident. Honestly, that number, I want to know the exact number of times I've hit max bet and then pressed. Like that's a lot of clicks if you really work it out, right? That is a ton of clicks if you really break it down. Like, that's one click, but when I want to be all in, it's max max. That sounds really silly. That sounds like first world problems, right? But it's as somebody that's played millions of hands of poker, it adds up for real on your repetitive strain injuries are a thing for sure in poker. No, I wish it was 50K profit, buddy. No, it's not 50K profit. We're trying to play $50,000 worth of $10 spinning goes. And we're really close now. So 5,000 games. Yeah. We are in profit. We are up, what did I say, $400 or something like that. I can't remember the exact number. And I wonder if it can accept the push as well. Okay, so if I fold this, if he goes all in, let me see if I can just run it as well as a call. He's not going to give me a chance now. Oh, the limp at 4 big blinds is terrifying. Chokada limping at the stack depth is very scary. Very, very, very scary. Do I even give him the chance? And Queen 7. Using escape as a hotkey, what could go wrong? Honestly, it's just not a button that I press when I play poker, I don't think. What am I pressing escape for when we're grinding? So Chokada over here, if he pushes, I'm going to call with the 10-8. Let me see if I can call with it as well. Okay, that does work. Okay, cool. Well, that's fun. That's a nice little gadget. Nice little thing to have. What I actually need, Raksha, is a completely separate like key. Like that's a not even part of my keyboard at all. Just one, you know, like you can just buy like one giant key off of what's it called? Off of Amazon. And just have that as the all-in button. That's all I need it for. JT, live cards, can't lose. Yeah, that's a good push anyway. There might be a hotkey for play again as well. Although I could get that, I could apply that to the registrator as well. 50K profit might take a lot longer, yeah. The highest tier that we managed to hit was gold chest, which is 25% rake back. I think if we could hit higher rake back targets, then we would be, you know, obviously we'd be cooking in that department a bit more. I think we might need to move up to the 25s to get higher though, with the amount of volume that we play. Pocket Kings is a really, 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 really good hand, guys. Top tip from Nick Walsh. Pocket Kings is a really, really, really good hand. Don't fold your hand. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, my God. Pocket Kings. It's a really good hand, guys. It's probably a top 3 hand, I'd say. Oh, my days. That's lovely. That is really, really, really lovely. Fake flip over here on the left. Sevens is fair. Got to respect the sevens there. The escape key is actually a relatively small button as well. On this keyboard, at least. Oh, man, this guy was doing some wonky stuff the other day. Not sure what to make of him just yet. He's my nemesis all day that day. Doing weird stuff and absolutely brooding me, like actually crushing me. Man, games are a bit reggy right now, eh? Games are pretty reg heavy, ATM. Yeah, I'm pretty close, Raksha. I'm like halfway full. So like what I might do, because I actually think this is fair for the challenge, what I might do is I might grind until we unlock that chest. Because, like, theoretically, we are earning rake back throughout all these games we're playing right now. Yeah, it's better this way. Theoretically, we are earning rake back all through these. It's just not unlocked yet, right? Because we have to clear the chest to get there. And I do wonder... I do think probably it's a better reflection of the actual overall challenge if we clear that chest, because then we have unlocked the rake back that we would have grinded for that time. So the final update might be 5,050 games or whatever it is to clear the chests. Because otherwise, you know, there's $60 or something like that. There's like 6 buy-ins that we've earned that we haven't unlocked yet, just because we didn't get through. It's like an uneven amount of volume that we played or whatever around the chess system. You heard it here first, guys. Pocket Kings is a really good hand. That's right. That's right. We're not folding. Are we raising? No, we're not going to raise either. KLX 2-barrel bluff here would be pretty good. Decided against it. I don't know if we have a bluff here now. I think maybe we do. Yeah. Make it look like thin value. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the move. That's the move. We're not repping a whole lot, but, you know, we take these things. We take these. Pot Jam Night, good to see you. Hope you're well. If there's a limp, there's a push here. Queen Deuce. That's a push. That is a hotkey push right there. That's what that is. I don't know why. I love the name Wassermelon. Wassermelone. Wassermelone, my friend. I am tempted to triple off here, guys. If we do this, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that'll do, donkey. I think we can triple. He shouldn't have as much King X. I think he can still call us with a 5 here. But I would say, generally speaking, we can get this through a decent amount. Hero call 5 is fair. I would fully approve of a hero call with a 5 or a deuce. I would approve of that. I would approve. I will respect you if you call. Nice, good call. That's exactly what we're targeting, though. You could see he had a tough spot of it, too, so it's all good. We certainly will have plenty of value in that spot. In fact, I will still make that exact same move with all the pairs between 5 to king, because we're that confident that he's not going to have a king or a 5 given the pre-flop action, right? We're targeting exactly the missed flush draws, which never call the 5x, the bottom pair on the flop. And we will have so much value in that spot. We will actually have so much value that we play, and a lot of stuff that people wouldn't usually value in that spot either. So it's really good for us to play our hand this way. And on the river, I think there's a chance we want to just bet 1 because we want to try and induce a bluff, but we also want to get called like by a deuce or an ace high or whatever. Can we induce a bluff? We induced very well there. That was the trick. But I like the move, right? We're very confident he doesn't have strong stuff. I think the call with the 5 is very good, honestly. Like, I fully approve of the call with the 5 there. I think that is just very good poker in general. King 8's a good hand here. This one can just go in the middle. That's an unfortunate all-in on the left. 2x multiplier. We are sub 14, 10, 9. This will probably just be GTO push regardless. 2 live cards against ace queen is fine. And a hodl. Let's go. Wassermelon. Donklead. We'd really like him to have a hand like 8-9 here, but he won't have that often when we've got a 9 in our hands. And I don't know, this doesn't feel as good as I'd like it to, so we're going to let that one go. Wassermelone. Let's take a look at this here. Sorry guys, the camera's going to do something weird. Value bet with a tray feels good. I'm just trying to fix this camera really quick. I hate this thing is always messing around. Hotkey. Double hotkeys, guys. Double hotkey sticks. All right, wish me luck. Jack 9. 2 live cards. Give me the 10. Give me the 10. Nice hand, buddy. Queen 7 called a shove here. Okay, interesting. It was a solid inducer, Tony. I liked it. It was a serious inducement. Oh man. All right, in the 2x, we're gonna act like that was a shove, the 2x steal. We're just gonna run the 10 deuce. Like if he ships here, we're technically supposed to call anyway, just for the pure equity. The fact he has us dominated, it kind of is just random bullshit, so it's all right. And all in. So far, so good, guys. Very solid poker. I mean, it still feels like we're getting absolutely rinsed right now. Still feels like we're getting beat up pretty bad, but like most of the decisions are good. Most of the spots are good. A lot of the spots that are good are just kind of turning out to be bad, just pure randomness. What's up, Jean? Good to see you over there. K-Mars, hello over there on YouTube chat as well. Welcome, guys. Hello, Alketti. How you doing? I think we probably call against reg here. This is kind of within my rules. Yeah, this is well within the rules to the call. Good. I mean, the pre-flop rules that I've created for this specific game have been serving me very well, especially against regs. We're getting those right. This is a shove for like 9 big blinds, the 10-7 off. And we're dominated randomly because, you know, this is what I mean. So here's the spot where we push and we get a lot of folds. 10-7 is almost certainly always a push that you want to make against regs in particular. And on this board, I'm going to give this guy a little bit of rope. Noel. Okay, if we get value now, it's going to be from spades or from straight draws, or it's going to be from King X that won't fold the turn. So we're going to bet big on the turn. And on the river, I think we're going to commit the rests. Or do we check and we try and get all of it? Okay, let's check. Let's try and get the bluffs from the straight draws and the spade draws. We did check the flop, so we're not telling the most believable of stories. If he has like a jack, he'll probably just show down. He turned up here with queen 4 of spades, so fair play, good check in the end. He's not going to call a bet there. So it was good inducement. James Blonde says it's an overbluff spot, deuce 5, ace, king, ace. I don't know if overbluff is how I would describe it. I think I will have bluffs there for sure. But like I said, if I can list if I can list enough combinations of value that I have there, then obviously like the bluff is that's why it's over bluffed, right? Because his range is so like we have such a range advantage given the pre-flop action. Of course, you're going to over bluff that one, but I think over bluff. The word over bluff indicates that maybe like it's happening like too high above equilibrium, and I don't think that's true. I think we're doing it in a very balanced way. Like as our particular strategy, I think we're doing those spots very well. Jean says, how much bankroll? So we're currently up about $400 in the challenge, and we're going to finish today. We're very, very far under EV, though, in chips. We're about 50 or 60 binds under expectation. Just in chips, not in actual binds. So let's do 2.5 here. So I would say it's a spot that is bluffed often. I think over bluffed is maybe the wrong way to describe it, but that's why he's allowed to call with a 5 there, right? 100%. But what I'm saying is that we will still also have lots and lots of lovely value hands as well. That was a close one. King Jack of Spades, I think we can just flat there. I don't remember that one exactly. And then we're going to do 4.5, 4, 8, 12. This is correct. And we'll call a push if we need to. We're going to finish today, prompt to you. That's right. We are going to finish today, my guy. Currently slightly in profit after rake back, which is nice, especially given that we've had a very difficult run of it. Overall, we ended up like very, very, very far below EV. Okay. Okay, let's bet the turn. I'm gonna bluff again. Guys. I don't expect him to fold a king, but I don't think he has a jack or a king. He could have random straight draws that have missed, obviously. Beautiful. And then the 7 deuce. How loose was that guy's 10-9 call, if at all? I don't know the exact spot, but if it was the pre-flop one, it's not that bad. It was only for a couple bigs. Can we win with 7 deuce? Can we win with 7 deuce? Yes, we can. And against Noel, I think we're just going to keep it balanced with the push. This is the player that's perfectly capable of calling with the right range here that will have crushed most of the time. Queen 4, I think is probably fine. Doesn't feel good calling with Queen 4, does it? But it probably is going to be fine against us specifically. Do we call 5-4 off here? Let's... Against the unknown player. Oh, there's so much dead money out there. Let's do it. Immediately punished. Oh. All right, 10 deuce. We are going to take out. Jack tray we're going to keep in. Oh, it's disgusting how far down we are in this spot. And give me a hand. My God. My Lord, it's not good enough, is it, guys? Pocket 5s is doable. Very doable. Very doable. Ooh, the limp call with 8-5 of spades. This should just be a push pre-flop. The limp call is actually particularly bad because you're not generating any fold equity pre-flop. You're just basically committing any 2 cards, and it's just gnarly. Just don't do it. Much better this way. Ace-5 into 8's pretty unlucky. Good flop for us though. Lovely. 9-4 we're gonna take out. King 8 we're going to be all in with no matter what. I think... Yeah, this one's fine. Let's do that. Bottom of the range over here on the right, guys. Like, really, really bad. Yeah, this is fine. Big spot there on the right. Hold. Let's go. Unlucky on the left as well. The king on the turn. 8 on the river. Double 05, what's up in the chat? Good to see you. Double 05 says you can mark that hand for review 7-6 on deuce 5 ace king ace triple barrel. I'm pretty sure your opponent arrives at the river with a lot of missed stuff, so you definitely don't have 50% fold equity, which is what you need to break even. Doesn't arrive. Pretty sure your opponent doesn't arrive at the river with a lot of missed stuff. Don't know. I think it's a fair amount. Let's mark it for review anyway. I'm happy to look at it. A couple people are asking now. Totally ready to be wrong on that as well. I'm fine. You guys know I'm not ashamed to be getting it wrong. But also, you understand, I'm not just targeting missed stuff. I'm also targeting like 2 pairs to fold, right? Oh man, queen deuce over here. Shit, against this guy I'm gonna fold, but otherwise I'd usually get that in. Let's mark it for review anyway. Let's find the spot. So a 6-7 on. What was it? Was ace king. All right, push this one, push this one. All right, I got it marked for review, guys. We'll take a look at it in a bit. Thank you for your comments. Like, you understand, I'm making that move to get him to fold made hands as well as misdraws, right? And he almost folded the 5, so I think we're doing the right thing. I think that the other important thing to understand is that I literally just have way more value than he does in this spot, right? That's kind of the entire point of a bluff, right? We'll take a look at it for review afterwards, but I'm pretty sure it's... Like I said, I expect a good player to make a call with the other 2 pairs, the 5 or the deuce or whatever it was on the flop. But still good, though. Still good stuff. I think we have such a big range advantage there that it's difficult to imagine we don't just want to triple off. If we're playing a nice aggressive strategy, we're going to limp the king jack of hearts here on the right. Not the worst flop. Not the best turn. It's a good river. Please have a straight. Please have a straight. Please have a straight. Please have a straight. Let's take our time on the river, right? Let's not scare him off. 3, 4, 5, 6. He must have a 6. Must have a straight. Must have a straight. Must have a straight. We've under-repped our hand so hard. We've under-repped our hand in the extreme. How could we possibly have a flush? What's up, Crew Pele as well? Yeah, we'll review it at the end of stream today. Queen 9 is definitely a call. We were patient in this game here. We deserve this one. Looks like we're going to get punished anyway. We skipped a borderline Nash call for this spot now, and now we're losing. This should be ATC. Any 2 cards call here. Does end up having a slightly better hand. Ocho. Don't you go throwing shit at me, mate. Don't you go throwing stuff at me, bruv, after what you just pulled. King! Let's go. Ace is on the left here, by the way. Let's kick it off with a balanced 1.25. And we're going to call the 10-9 here. Just equities here, just equities. The 8 tray is way too loose, by the way. 8 tray is way too loose. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is a possible blue tag scenario. Because that was an interesting one. Open shove, let's call it 5 effective. Heads up was a tray off. Definitely a panicking. Definitely has enough big blinds not to just go with any 2 there, and 8 tray is at the bottom of the pile. 005 says, when considering his whole range, you don't have 50% fold equity, far less MO. The mist is going to be a small part of his range because he also plays it differently on the flop and turn. So yeah, perhaps I appreciate that, you know, on that texture he might have, if he has draws, he might play them more aggressively, so maybe he doesn't have as many of those. I don't think on the ace high texture you're meant to check raise as often with those draws though, right? If it comes queen high and he's got a straight draw or a flush draw, it's very different than the ace high texture. That's how I interpret it. But also, like I said, I'm not just trying to get him to fold when he has missed stuff. I'm trying to get him to fold made hands as well. Can we get the 8-7 to showdown, please? So the bet check bet line is here kind of annoying. He bet pretty big on the flop as well. Against the complete random, I don't really see him doing this as a bluff enough. And that means we're probably not winning, right? But yeah, no, I appreciate your feedback, 005. As always, I'm happy to be wrong. We'll take a look at it, but do we have 50% fold equity on the river? I mean, I don't know. How is he not folding? If we think he might have some missed draws, and we pretty much know he never has an ace or a king, or it's extremely rare. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, if he's calling with every 5 and every deuce on the flop and he's folding that some of the time, I think we're easily hitting 50%. But I appreciate the breakdown, and yeah, there might be some truth. Let's take a look at how often he's supposed to check raise his draws, for example, right? Because I think on ace high, it doesn't happen as often as you think. If the board comes jack 5 tray, they're going to check raise their draws way more aggressively because we're going to end up having more ace combos, and they aren't allowed to represent the ace high boards as aggressively because they have so little of it after we've limped and they've checked pre-flop, right? At that shallow stack depth, almost all the aces are going to be played aggressively pre-flop. That's a particularly potent one. What's up, John? Good to see you, buddy. Elmo. Interesting. Should we take the 4 tray to the flop here? Just because it's so darn pretty. Ooh, this one is brutal. Okay, let's just trust my heart here. Go with my heart. I'm going to go with my heart. Bottom of the range here. Oh, okay. Let's not compound that one. Got to call the king 5 here. Give me a Cinco. Diamond. Throws lucky horseshoe. That's right, John. Okay, bottom of the range. Let's take a look at where we're at now. This has got to go in here now, guys. Wish me luck. And we have 3 big blinds with 5-4 offsuit, and we're somehow dominated by Queen 5 of hearts, and that is going to look like shit on the graph. It's another example of one we just can't avoid, right? 5-4 off, mandatory call here. Otherwise, we're folding way too much for, you know, when we have, like, no chips. Definitely well within Nash. And he's got us dominated for, like, tons of chips. Because remember, we're not looking at big blind EV. We're looking at chip EV. So our chip EV in this game is garbage because we end up getting in what at that stage is like 25% of the total chips in play or something like that. Let's give him 2 barrels here. All right, maybe not. Double 5 says, I play in these stakes for a living, bro. No one is playing GTO here. That is a very strange thing to say, mate. I got to be real. That is a very, very, very strange thing to say because that's just not true. It's just not true at all. That is actually just not true. Like, factually incorrect. I would say there's a big chunk of people that aren't, sure. I'd say there's a lot that aren't, perhaps, but I think a lot of the regs of the 10s are playing at least GTO-led strategies. Is it Saturday? Perfect. Does playing so much volume make you numb to the variance? It certainly helps, yeah. I would say it certainly helps, mate. Can we rep a king on this river? I guess not. I don't know what to do here on the left, guys, because I think we might be winning. He limps the button, he checks the flop, he checks the turn. He's going to have random ace-x. He's going to have random 6x and 5x. He's got a set of trays. Perfect. Let me make a note here for sure. We need to note this because this is not good. Limp button, multi-way. At 12 effective even. Wow. What is pocket threes? Good to know. Let's put this into the steal category. Yeah, I know. At that point, I'm happy to look it up, 005. I'm not arguing with you because, you know, I make mistakes too. I absolutely make mistakes as well. And I'm always happy to learn from my mistakes and look stuff up and be wrong. I'm not ashamed to say it. That's cool. What I will say, though, is that is just not true. That is simply not true. There's definitely tons of very good regs who are playing strategies based on GTO. We're just going to have 1,000,000,000% equity on the turn here. That's nice. Did I accidentally limp this button, by the way? What happened here? Okay, yeah, I didn't mean to limp the queen 5 suited, by the way. That was a mistake. We'll take a look at the spot anyway, but I'm pretty sure it's fine. The intention here is to isn't just to try and get no hand to fold. The intention is to get strong, like other actual made hands to fold as well. And I do think that they exist there. Was that a mistake? Did I intentionally limp queen 5 suited? Where were we here? Oh yeah, no, that definitely was a mistake. Didn't mean to do that. Right, let's give this one a 3 big blind ISO. Let's actually put a steal in here, a rare steal. Let's add a rare steal in that one. Ooh, we can definitely call King 10 here if we want to. Oh, man. We can definitely think about it here, guys. Do we do better against the guy? I think we might do better as a fold here. I would say that one's definitely okay, though. We're going to sneak in a trap. Is the trap better than calling with King 10? We're about to find out. The trap is much better than King 10. Never mind. No, it's not. Double Five says, also, there was a big noticeable timing tell when you took so long on the river to triple barrel, which isn't usually the case with thin value. I would have called 100% with any pair at that point. Fair enough. Fair enough. I can respect that as well. I don't think that's a timing tell, though, because I think we do exactly the same thing intentionally to try and look like we have a timing tell, which actually might be a reverse timing tell, to be honest. Delaying that river and betting, if that's a justification for calling that river, fair enough, but I can tell you that that's going to be somewhat balanced as well. I think we're also going to turn up there a fair amount with good hands. But I mean, furthermore, also don't forget we are. Don't forget as well that we are also on the stream, right? So quote unquote timing tell could literally be me giving a speech about all the reasons why we're doing that as well. But again, that's fair enough, mate. I like to hear these things from you guys. Yeah, I agree with Tony though as well. That's definitely a thing. The fact I'm streaming is going to be relevant if we're going to start looking into it like that. I do intentionally delay some bets in order to look a certain way too. So don't know. I don't think timing tells are really an issue there. All right, so we are definitely making a slight uptick here. You guys can see we're making a slight uptick. Like I said, guys, we're just trying to chip away here. We're just trying to chip away. We are still taking a real beating here towards the end. We got another 25 games left to finish the challenge. That's what I wanted to look at. Okay, let's get back to it. Do I give away timing tells? Probably. I don't think I'm infallible to that, but I think probably you don't want to put too much stock in it. Because I do give off fake timing tells, and also some of them are just tells because I'm on stream, which aren't even tells. And sometimes I'm just slow as shit because I'm famously known for playing very slow, and everyone seems to really hate that. Which is perfect, too. All right, we got some decent-sized multis here, guys. We got a 5x and a 4x. Let's see if we can't do some damage here. Check raising this board might be an interesting prospect, but don't know. Again, on the ace-high texture, I don't know how often we want to do that. Let's put this one in the steal category. And let's try a larger continuation bet. Ooh, King 5 is still fine here, I think. Goes for a chunky bet on this texture as well. Jeez. Okay, that works. Come on, let's get 2 W's here, guys. That'll be helpful for the challenge. Definitely wouldn't mind a 50 and a 40. Okay, pocket jacks. That was a very quick 3-bet as well. 695. Let's see what he's got here. All right, we like that. Ace 10 probably should just be a 3-bet jam pre-flop here, by the way, but all good. Same outcome. Let's not run bad in the big multi there. That kind of sucks. Good spot for us, though. That's a good example of where there's more chips in play as well, right? So we lose the all-in, jacks versus ace 10, which is like, you know, whatever. Shit happens. But then we're also neglected of all the chips that we would have won playing heads up, or the potential to win chips heads up at least. So our EV in this game is positive in the sense that it reflects a spot where we got it in with like 70% equity, but then all of the chips that we could have had in that game are now gone to us. And unfortunately, that reflects poorly on our chip EV, which is something that's important to us. And it's particularly annoying. It's really, really, really fucking annoying. Here at the end of our challenge, hitting these kinds of roadblocks is a very sad story. It's a very sad story indeed. Oh, I need a haircut before Christmas. It's too late now, I guess. Ace, deuce, diamonds. I guess we're just going to go with it, guys. To door. Does he bluff ISO in this spot is a great question. Does he bluff steal in these spots is a great question. It's a large size as well. Okay. We made the right decision, Chad. Don't you worry. King, queen of clubs, also El Monstro. Oh, we're not even using our hotkey over here. Running into ace queen when we're 100% push feels bad. Club. There you go. It's another one, guys. King queen suited, 100% jam versus steal. And we're dominated. Lovely stuff. That's going to look like shit on the graph, too. Well, we did manage to hotkey this one in good. Okay, okay. That is not the worst outcome I've ever seen in my life. Hotkey that bad boy as well. This guy's ultra short on the left. Unlucky. Pat at the lion. Domination situation. Let's go. All right, we're going to make this one an ISO. It's going to be 3 times the big blind. Interesting one here on the right, guys. If we're gonna check back some of our stronger over cards, we need to call this turn. We're beating diamonds, we're beating spades, we're beating straight draws, of which there are a lot. A lot of those. Interesting river bet. He goes for 1. We might even try and get a 4 to fold or a 3 to folds. Should we just go for it here, guys? Give it a go. Good bluff. When he bets 1 there, he definitely has showdown. We are inching closer, Tom. Nice. We get the chips in really good here. Ace-9 to the rescue, baby. Oh, my God. I don't believe it. I've never been this far away from winning it all in. Oh, man, this is actually brutal over here on the turn, on the right. We can't fold yet. If we're going to bet ace-queen, we can't fold to the check raise. We're still beating too many draws. That is not a good river. That is not a good river. But when Seb checks the river, I mean, presumably, doesn't have clubs. We're still beating Jack 10, Queen Jack. Oh my God, we're so unlucky here. Fuck's sake. Ah! Oh, I really, really felt like we should have had a bluff there as well. I was right on a knife's edge. That is annoying. That one's so annoying. Oh, what are we doing? Check the river as well. We have a full boat. We got him to bet the river. That's always a nice treat, isn't it, guys? This is always a nice treat. We managed to get him back anyway. By the way, the ace-queen absolutely played perfectly. I mean, we certainly made the right call, right? Make the right call on the flop. Got unlucky on the turn. Should have committed the river, maybe. Should have committed the river, maybe. This is pretty gnarly on the left. Oh, check raises us with 8 high. Check raises us with 8 high and just punishes us. Why not? Sure. Sure, buddy. Wow, huge flop for us on the right. Snap check. Doesn't want to bet turn yet. Okay. Please don't have a king. All right, we got some value in the end. That was nice. 10-8 at 7.5. Super live cards here, by the way. If I can point out the 10-8. We got like less than 25 now, Tom. We are at 4,981. I feel sad, though, guys. I feel sad. We definitely put in a good shift, but coming to the end of this challenge, man, it feels like a very, very sad ending to just encounter sort of some negative variance here at the very last stretch. Yeah, we need some protection now, I think. All right, when we get min check raised, he can literally just take the chips. Good luck, bruv. Good luck with that, mate. I wish you all the best in the world. Not even a spade, huh? Yeah, Tony. The thing is, though, right? Like, part of why we're calling with Ace Queen is because we know that we're just winning a lot of the time, and it just sucks to turn. It really sucks to turn, you know, significant showdown into a bluff when you don't have to. I think probably we have to go for it, though. Where are we at right now? That makes sense. Yeah, we'll do one of these. Okay, we managed to make a king. Ace 8 versus King 9. It's looking good. It's looking good. What's up, Zephian? Good to see you. Good to see you, bro. Definitely got to call any two here. 5 is good. 5 is good? 5 is good. 7 deuce steal. We'll start with the one big blind. $50x. Yeah, if those of you wondering, the highest multi we've had was 50x. We got unlucky as well. We were doing well. We were actually one of the chippies. We were one of the chip leaders. We were the chip leader, excuse me, and then we ran 2-pair and a 2-pair on the turn. We've performed particularly well. We've performed particularly well in our games, though. So in the 10x multiplier department, I've done some math, but like we're winning a huge amount of the biggest multipliers we've played. I kind of want to bluff here, guys, believe it or not. Checks flop. Okay, never mind. Interesting spot there. Yeah. Tough one, though, Tony. Tough one. Queen 10 into ace 10. That's going to look shit on the graph. Let's give this one a 5 big blinds. All right, got to commit once we do it. Dominated right into ace jack, sure. Story checks out. Got lucky with the heart. Oh, keep running into these big hands, guys. We're just in one of those stretches at the moment. We've discussed these before. We went through a lot of this all the way throughout our biggest downswing. We seem to be running better in the all-in department, though, which is lovely. If you're going to get coolered again and again and again, it is nice to win some of the all-ins, right? It is nice to have the best hands some of the time. It is nice to get lucky some of the time, I should say. Queen 9 pusher. Where are we at? We must be getting close now, guys. 83. Win the flip on the right. That's nice. Sometimes I'm guilty of relying too heavily on showdown value, perhaps the aggressive approach. I mean, I definitely think once they check, like, once he checks that river, he does kind of end up having, like, some weak showdown, which means we probably should bluff a little bit more aggressively. We're just so high. We just have such a nice starting hand, and on that river, I guess, like, I don't know. I don't know. If we have a couple more seconds, maybe we make a better decision. Wow, this is a punt. Call Jack Deuce, the call shove. Oh, wow, that's spicy, dude. This one is not approved. Chocata, too good. Chocata, way too good. Let's do this one. We'll call a shove if we need to here as well. All right, we've actually studied a spot like this just recently. Wish me luck with A7. Fake flip. Wow, this one's going to be a chop so often. Just ends up spiking a 6. Oh my goodness, that sucks. Oops. Sorry, guys. That was ridiculously oversized. Go on, put the chips in here, buddy. All right, we'll give him 3 big blinds with the nice ace-queen. Calling a shove is fine. We're happy to call the shove here if we need to. Wow, okay. That's not nice. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you, dude. Jeez. Getting busted up here on the left. Now we can put the chips in with all the dead money out there. That is just the flipper. Flippers. Easy flips. Not so easy. Not so easy with the flippers. 480. 486. Yep, got to get the ace in here. We're getting lucky on the flop, hopefully. Nice, but ace-8 suited is way too strong. You're always going to get this in pre. Versus the kings here. Also, is this the min-raised pot as well? Where did he min-raise? He min-raised at... it's a bit deeper than I remembered. Yeah, just keep running into the top of their range all day. Cool. That's fun. As long as we keep getting lucky. Woo! Pocket queens. Any good. Blind v blind. KLX jam. No! We do not want to get a walk there. That's a very sad story. This is less sad. This one is less sad on the right. This one is less sad. Okay, heads up on the right, and ace 10 of spades. We're probably just going to be happy to get all in here on the left. Calling the fives jam. Pretty standard stuff. Can we win a flip, though? No flip for us. Good call, though. Nice. Pass and push. And steal. We're getting min 3-bet in the small blind here. These are always funny, aren't they, guys? Those ones always make me laugh. Yeah, min 3-betting sixes here is so pointless. By all means, get the sixes all in. That's good. We like getting sixes in, but min 3-betting them serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever. Does not benefit you in any way, shape, or form. All right. Pocket deuces. Can we win a flip? Trap check. Got him. We absolutely got him. Trapping King Jack of Diamonds. This is a call versus reg. He's got the top of his range because sure he does. Of course he does. Why would you not just have ace jack for like 6 big blinds? Of course he does. That makes perfect sense. Why not? Why not? Yeah, against reg, it's definitely a go, though, guys. Go, go, go. Club free roll? We can shove 8-7 here if we want to. Against the unknown, we're going to play it slow. We're going to take a stab at the king-queen high flop. I think we have a bit more control against this guy than the average dude. What's up, Bryn? In the chat. Good to see you, buddy. You got any plans for a new challenge? I like watching people play live cash games the most. Have a good Christmas, New Year. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. I don't have anything specific yet, but I do imagine we're going to do another Spin and Go challenge. I just wrote an article for Poker.org. Not an article. I responded to some questions so they could write an article. And they were like, what are your New Year's resolution plans for poker? I would like to do another spin challenge, potentially at higher stakes. And I would also like to consider doing playing more live cash, excuse me. I really love playing live cash. Like, I really, really like it. Of course, he's got us dominated with ace deuce here, by the way. I really like playing live cash. I don't make enough time for it. Next year, I might get a chance to play a lot more, which I'm really excited about. And I would like to study MTTs more, but that's my least favorite part. You guys know I'm not the biggest MTT grinder. It's the most foreign game to me, and also it's my least enjoyed format. I think they can be fun. I think tournaments can be cool. I think tournaments are cool when you're winning, basically. Otherwise, I just don't think they're very cool. I think they're too slow. I think it's too easy to hide. I think it's just too long, and I think there's just more efficient ways to play enjoyable poker. But that's about as far as I've gotten so far in that department. 8-4 suited probably needs to fold once we see the shove. We're getting close now, guys. Where are we at? 89? We're at 90. 10 more games. I'm not sure. The limp call with ace-4 here, I think, is a little bit weird. Oh, he didn't have any big blinds, did he? Oh, yeah, never mind. Sorry. Didn't even see the spot. Sorry about that, bro. That Mondo calls it off with Jack-10 of diamonds. Pretty good. Hey, here's 005, by the way. I tell you what, 005, you can be a friend of the stream. Hey, what happened to my friend of the stream tag? What happened to my friend of the stream tag? Are we missing a color? Ah, yeah, that's funny. We made this label when it was still Flash. All right, 005, you are officially friend of the stream, by the way, since you joined us earlier. We are going to raise this one non-all in. And then we're going to bet small on the flop. Going to fold to the shove. Try to do something clever. Immediately punished, as always. I would like to win this heads up on the left. That would be cool. Bet Mondo. Good old Bet Mondo. Getting a walk there is pretty cool. 3x into, okay, this is a slightly specific spots. Can I scroll down on tags? Oh, that's where it was. Okay, cool. There's more labels now, I guess. That's what it was, Tom. Well spotted, buddy. Queen 10, we're going to trap here. This is not the worst flop I've ever seen in my life. Mr. Mondo. Can we catch a bluff? Can we catch a bluff? Can we value bet? We can value bet. We got a little. Got called by a 5 there. King 10 of clubs is definitely good enough to call the shove here. Wish me luck, guys. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Trapping ace jack. Made top pair like a bouse. Top pair like a souse bouse. Get the chips in good here. Let's do this. Give me the straight. Get min raise. Deserve to get punished on the turn there. Just get out of my life. Trap ace king suited. It's going to work eventually, guys. It's going to work eventually. It's going to work eventually. Oh, it worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. I knew if we kept trapping, something good would happen. We have to call any two here, guys. It's almost any two. 9-4 is definitely in there. Otherwise, we're giving up too many chips for too much equity. King 8's got to go in. Ace 4. Definitely a push. Blind v blind. King on the turn. Let's go. Must be getting close now. We are 7 games away. 7 of the best games we've ever played ever in the history of poker ever. 7 of the best games we've ever played in our lives. Oh, no, we're just dominated here. We're just dominated here again. Put it in good. Put it in good. Put it in good. Put the chips in good. So close. Pocket Queens is a good hand, guys. It is a good hand. It's definitely about 71% good. Yeah, that's pretty good there. I'll take that one. Queens is a good hand, confirmed. Yeah, nice hand, dude. Let's try not to run into it, huh? Oh, my goodness. What a game we play. What a funny game we play. Definitely wouldn't mind ace-8 suited there. Straight. Bluff the river. All right, we got some value in the end. Sevens. A true powerhouse. What's up, Roca? Good to see you. Oh, yeah. There you go. Queens again. Why not? Sure. Queens again seems fair. All right, we're almost done, guys. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up over here. We are now 3 games away from our 5K target. We're still pretty far away from unlocking that chest, unfortunately, which is a very sad story as well. I think we will probably have to grind to unlock that as well, or the challenge won't include all the rakeback that we've earned. What's that going to be? Another 200 games in the new year? Of course, he has ace-9. That makes sense. These two and one more, Tom. The Chris Stragalis special. Chris Stragalis hat tip special. Yeah, I don't know about this move. Limp call 8-9 of hearts. Don't think that's a thing. Don't think that's a thing. We want to make a note of that as well. Ah! Cool. Let's gamble this one. Gee. All right, last game. Last game. Hey! Oh, the chopportunities. Hilarious. Hilarious. All right, Pocket Jacks, 5,000th game. Never mind. Yeah, nice hand. Nice hand. All right, so that's it, guys. 5,000 games complete. I feel so unsatisfied. I feel so unsatisfied. Okay. Well, there you go. $50,000 gambled, $10 at a time, and we ended up down $790 without rake back. We're still in profit, guys. We're still up about $490 or something. Let me actually get the real number. Let's talk about it really quick. Let me open up the. Do this. Do this. I feel so unsatisfied. All right, so let me do some quick math, guys, because we want to document exactly how we finished up at 5K. However, like I said, we still need to finish our current chest because this is only telling part of the story without the rest of the rake back that we've earned. So we're looking at 1, 2, 0, minus 0. Never mind. Never mind. We actually ended up still $500 in profit. So our total bonuses to date, and I've documented every single bonus released, including Spin Live promo, regular chest, silver chest, gold chest. I've got some of the promos, including the ones that we did for Spin Go Championship as well. We ended up making $1,290 in rewards, which is effectively all rake back because it's almost entirely chests. And we ended up down $790 with a chip EV of 15 chips per game on average. Again, this is only part of the story. I've gone on at great length about this in our actual breakdowns on social media. But we ended up making $500, which is an exact 1% ROI. In fact, let's just take a quick little snip here. Let me just take a quick little snip here. Save as desktop. Spin challenge, session number 4. final results. So, after 5,000 spinning goes, we have a 1% ROI, including rake back, and I guess that's something. That's 50 buy-ins, right? 50 times 10. So we are playing $10 games, $500. You know, grinding $10 games, I guess, is respectable. I feel really, really unsatisfied because I do believe that we've shown a lot of big improvement throughout this challenge. And again, if you guys missed it, let me just do a really quick filter here. So we started this in 1906, right? So if you filter out the early games, if we go from 0109, for example, so that's taking out the majority of the early games when we were still trying to find our feet. Our overall chip EV is still much higher than 15. We're actually closer to 18 right now, and that includes the downswing that we're currently experiencing, which is pretty profound. I mean, that's a pretty big dip, right? When you are fighting for literally individual points, like single digits, right? So the difference between 20 chips per game and 22 chips per game is probably about, you know, the difference between breaking even and minus 1% ROI pre-rake back. It takes a long time to grind out of that over volume, right? Because even if our overall average is closer to 20, which I think it probably truly is, 20 chips per game, in order to sort of redistribute that into the larger graph so that our overall chip EV average becomes closer to the true chip EV we're at right now, you have to play a lot of volume, and 5,000 games probably isn't enough, especially when we spent the first 500 to 1,000 games trying to work out how to play this most efficiently, grind it most efficiently, getting used to the ultra short stacks. I mean, there's a pretty significant story to be told here as well, right? We spent a lot of this time losing red line, and now it's a much flatter experience, which is obviously coinciding with better results overall. So we're plugging leaks in the pre-flop department that we didn't have before, or that we had before, pretty significantly. And we made a lot of progress, but it's a grind, guys. It's grind. It's tough. We also ended up pretty far under EV as well, right? If we take a look at actual chips, we ended up... This isn't going to be exactly right, so don't quote me on this, guys, but these numbers will be exactly right, but the actual next calculation we'll have to do. So we ended up 12,661 chips under expectation, right? The average number of chips that we get given is around 300, right? We're usually starting with around 300 chips. Let's just call it 350 just for the sake of posterity. You know, we're still 36 buy-ins or so under expectation. That's about $360. You know, this isn't chips though, right? So I'm not saying it would work out exactly at $360 because, of course, multipliers are a thing. But that's we took a pretty brutal beating here for a long time in this challenge, right? I think the furthest we were under expectation was about 100 chips in EV. Sorry, 100 buy-ins in EV, excuse me. And we were actually closer to 160 buy-ins down at that point, as in the negative in dollars, not just theoretical dollars. So a huge portion of this was spent kind of getting brutalized, and then at the very end here, we kind of flatlined our EV to a good degree, and we also started bombing again. So it's just a brutal format, guys. You need to play through a lot, and I still think that 5,000 games, especially when a lot of that volume was played, you know, not experienced playing Zoom poker, not Zoom, Flash Spin Go, excuse me. I feel like we've done well. We've actually managed to pull something out of the bag here, despite a lot of pretty negative conditions. I know there was a lot of jokes being made about, you know, during this run, we were actually hitting some cards and we were having some fun. We were actually enjoying quite a significant amount of run good, both in EV and in all-ins. But we were making up for like a catastrophic failure of like 100 buy-ins plus under EV, right? That's how it works. I feel somewhat unsatisfied because I really felt like we were on a bit of a heater there to finish. But I guess the story continues, and I do think that with another 5,000 games, another 10,000 games, something like that, I think with another 10,000 games or so, I think we really could have made this challenge really sing. I think we could have got to a 2% plus ROI, which I think would have been pretty respectable, you know, given the fact we're playing a hyper format. You know, for a long time, spinning goes have been a single-digit grind. But when you're playing games that quickly, you know, if you know that you're working towards a couple percent, but you're playing hundreds of games a day, you know, that's respectable. I know it's different from the MTT grind, but it's a thing. Can't help but feel kind of blue, though, if I'm honest, guys. I really feel like I feel like we moved mountains here, and I feel like we've improved a lot, even though the improvement is somewhat subtle. But this game really is about subtlety, and like the more that I speak to my peers in this group, the more it feels, you know, the more you realize how important just a couple points are overall, and keeping it consistent and consistently trying to eke out, you know, just a couple more chips in your opponent. You got to be really locked in, believe it or not, right? It's not just about blasting through volume and trying to get big multis. Like, you really have to play every single game like it's your last. And I think if we gave ourselves a couple more thousand games, I do think that we could get our chip EV close to break even pre-rake back, which would mean pretty serious ROI thereafter. Thank you very much for the follow. DJ Nasty Nick, what's up? I guess there's just one more thing to say, guys. Oh, it's not even on this one, is it? Is it on this one? It's not on this one. How about this one? It's not on this one. What the fuck? Why is it not working? Is it playing and I'm just not hearing it? I'm trying to play Why is Poker So Fucking Hard? It's just not playing for me now. Is this how we're running, really? Is this really just how we're gonna run now? Fuck. It's not even playing now. Can't even play it.
Lost another flip. I might quit 15 times in a row. I'm so sick. Lost another flip. I might quit 15 times in a row. I'm so sick.
Yeah, it was meant to be Why is Poker So Fucking Hard, but there we go. Thank you for the congratulations, guys. I know, Crooks. I know. Pro poker player sucks at poker, apparently. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to say we're short on games for the ones Nick accidentally registered for the $10. Those definitely count. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Base Logic, thank you, dude. I mean, at least it was a nice, like, super clean number, right? At least it's exactly $500 profit at 5K. I mean, you know, like I said, we probably need to finish, like, I'll probably grind through until we finish this chest. Because the chest obviously has our like value locked up in it, right? So we're probably about 60% of the way through a chest, which means, like, what's that, like another $70 or something that we haven't unlocked yet in rakeback. So that's not really telling the whole story. So I think I probably need to finish that chest, and then I'll probably announce the final result, including how many games it took to complete the challenge there, which I think is a more accurate representation of the total challenge. Anyway, that is going to be it for today, I think, guys. Happy days. We managed to get there. We definitely we set ourselves a challenge. We completed it. I've reported it honestly and openly. And I wish we just run better, basically. That's how it goes, though. You want to play Spin Goes, this is how it's going to go some of the time. A lot of people were very critical of the fact that, such a big portion of the ROI was coming from rewards. In hyper formats, that's kind of always been the case, to a greater or lesser degree. I still absolutely miss regular speed spin and goes. Like that was my jam, and our results in the games that are played as a reg speed, right? So 10x multipliers are higher. Our results in those games are outstanding, like super crushing, like murdering those games, right? They're just higher skill games, basically, and they're just lower variance because of the fact you just have to play more streets, and you have to actually play the game of poker rather than it being more push fold, and forcedly so. But I think also people need to remember that rakeback is basically just the redelivery of what's taken, at the point of sale. If it wasn't for the rake in these games, this graph would have much greater relevance to, our overall ROI. But as it is on, in every situation, you need to play through that, and the rakeback is just another part of the edge. Obviously, if we had higher tier rewards as well, that would probably have significantly impacted on the challenge. And we started from absolute zero to get here. So we started with basically no rewards whatsoever and ground our way up to gold. So if we were to play this at 25s next year, we would definitely be hitting much higher reward tiers, playing for a little bit less rake as well. I don't know. Let's have a think about what we want to do next year. We might do another challenge just like this, and actually start it in January this time, so it's not quite so rushed. Between all the other things we're going to be doing too. Anyway, guys, we did it. We got there. We completed it. I'm sat here reflecting just because it's nice to take these things in and do a little mindfulness when you arrive at a point like this. I'm happy the challenge is done. I think it was fun to have something to work on behind the scenes, especially as I did a lot of this offline. I meant to do more of it online, obviously. It's just not a thing between the other things going on in the schedule, but it's okay. We got there in the end. I think we learned a lot on the way here. And I think that there is still pretty significant prospect to grind higher and better and, reap those rewards. But I guess that's going to be it for today. Yeah, it's fine. I feel the same way, of course. Like I said, I've always been very clear about that. I just think they're more entertaining. I actually think they're just simply more fun. It's undeniable that my edge in those games is significantly higher than it is in these as well. But I've chosen to take that as a bit of a challenge, and throughout this challenge, we've definitely shown that, I can compete at least at this level. I don't know if it's possible at higher stakes, but I would assume it's just more reg battles, which is something that we've done plenty of throughout this challenge, and results are still okay. I've received a lot of feedback, Croaks. Yeah, I don't know what's been received from PokerStars side. I've got some thoughts. I'd like to probably petition again next year for a slight adjustment. But I'm just the same as you guys. I'm just another player, really. So all I can do is give my thoughts and hope for the best. Thank you, Sofian. I appreciate that. But yeah, look, we've put in the time, guys. I'd say that we're getting pretty good at the. I would say we're getting pretty good at the shorter stacked variation of this format. I'd say there's probably still a lot of work that we can put into that would make us much better. There's probably a lot of very fine detailed sort of database analysis that would probably uncover a fair amount of exploits that might simplify this game for us and just win us a few extra chips, because it really is a game of very fine margins. 005 says, I want to try streaming playing 10s. Any tips? Well, just be consistent. That's probably the most important tip. So if you're going to do it, give yourself a schedule and stick to your schedule, and don't assume anyone's going to show up and without good warning. You probably want to do some social media so you can announce when you're going to go live. Even if you have a schedule where you go live the same time every day or the same time every day that you're live in a week, you still want to be announcing. You still want to get it in front of people's eyes. I would say make sure that you have a setup with a good microphone. The microphone is more important than the camera. That's absolutely for sure certain true. People will watch you with a bad camera, but they will not listen to you if you have a shit mic and if you're picking up too much ambient noise. So that's definitely a good tip as well. But that's it. Keep it consistent and grind and set yourself some targets so people know that they're going to follow. Spinning goes are difficult to follow because I've always had a success with spinning goes as a streamer because I made it quite educational because I would like one table, people would watch that, they enjoyed me explaining what I was doing. If you're somebody that wants to grind your normal volume, if you actually want to like mass multi-table, that needs to be maybe the feature, and you need to set yourself some targets where you're trying to hit a certain number of games or a certain amount of profit or a 50K challenge like I did, something like that. John Edwards asking if I want a completion beer. That's very kind of you, John Edwards. Let me think about it. I don't feel like celebrating this. I guess I feel bummed out, but I don't feel bummed out because I feel like I've failed. I feel bummed out because I feel like I've got a lot more to show, and I just haven't had the runway to do it. Like, I feel like if I had another 5,000 games, I think that this graph would just go straight to the moon for real. I think this stretch here, this win rate, this is probably as many chips as you can win conceivably in, at the high end of what is possible to win in chips, because there is a hard cap in this game for sure. There is a limit on how much you can win just based purely on the opportunities you're given. I believe that I probably could have got us to a chip EV of 22 with more time and more grind. So I guess I'm less sad and I'm more feeling like I'm just feeling like I probably could have shown more if I had more runway, which I guess is an opportunity for next year, right? Next year, go again with the full year starting from January and, like aim for 10,000 games. Maybe play 25s. That's 1 point less of rake. That's probably another upgrade in chests, a little bit more rake back. New set of competitors, a very different field. Look at it like an opportunity, eh? Yeah, Crooks, I will. My ROI at the 500's lifetime is 200%. That's a good reminder as well, Tom. Yeah, you're good point there. Good point. Okay, well, anyway, guys, let's wrap this up on a positive note. I feel like I've mused on this. I feel like I've said my truth, a little bit here. I feel like I've chatted a bit about it. And it's always difficult to talk about results, without coming across like you're being defensive or something, or like you're, I think that generally we probably suffered one of the more unlikely downswings. The gap here, this prolonged flat line in green where we were going up in EV. Like I said, that was about 100 buy-ins in EV and about 160 buy-ins in real money. I'm not sure what Swang Sim would tell us. We might actually have to run some sims to see how far away we were. But, we might be hitting single digits in probability where we would run that bad for that long. So coming back from that, it's a long road, especially when you need to sort of basically get lucky in order to recover the EV that's lost. But it will swing in both directions. I mean, we got off to it. We started this challenge where we're above EV like this, right? Pretty big swings. So really, it's just a volume grind while keeping it consistent. Anyway, enough about that. Guys, that is it for this year. I think that's the end of. The grind for this year. I'm very, very grateful to everyone who watches my streams. I'm really happy that you guys enjoy this content, and it's I have to say it's very rewarding for me because sharing this game with you guys makes it more fun for me. Being able to share the challenge with you guys makes it more serious for me because I feel like I'm accountable. And thank you for the 100 biddies. We appreciate you. And also just being able to represent PokerStars as an ambassador and being able to do this job for a living is kind of fucking nuts. And I'm very grateful, guys. I've got nothing but gratitude for the opportunities that I've been given by PokerStars, and really those are opportunities that were given to me by you guys, because if you didn't support what I did here online, then I wouldn't have any marketable presence that would have any real worth. So thank you guys first and foremost. Thank you very much to all of our mods. Tom and Raksha and Ed, you guys are a lifesaver, and you guys, they're always there. They're always there for me, and I love you guys, and I really appreciate what you guys have done for me over the years, and this year included. And I really hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas or a holiday season or whatever you celebrate. And I really hope that I really hope to see you guys in the new year with some new ideas and some new concepts and something else to sweat, because it's fun to sweat this stuff, right? I have a sneaking suspicion I'll be returning to the Spin Go streets for my sins, being the masochist that I am. But I do feel like a fresh start, while also being a continuation of this, because I'd like to sort of do long term as well as the short term. I do think the fresh start is kind of what might be interesting here. Like I said, we spent a long time trying to grind out of our learning phase in this stretch, these 5,000 games, and our Chippy V is a reflection of that, right? So we paid the price by trying to learn on the fly, which is kind of how you have to do it sometimes, and our overall Chippy V was impacted very heavily by that, several points worth. So we're going to have to blast the volume. We're going to have to grind our way out. We're going to have to prove that we have the grit. Might try play some higher stakes. Might try and aim for a bigger target next year. Maybe we'll go for 10,000 games in 12 months. That's not that crazy, right? Less than 1,000 games. Less than 1,000 games a month throughout the year. Come on. 10,000... So, I mean, I don't know. When I say that out loud, my younger self laughs at me. We used to play so many games, so many spins, right? Hundreds and hundreds of spins a day. 10,000 games was absolutely nothing to me back then. 833 games a month? Come on. It's doable. Lazy Kimbo, thank you for the follow. Promptu says your run looks like something in the 30th percentile or so. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be on the lower side. I was thinking with the new format, probably even worse is possible, and not that unbelievable. But there you go. I appreciate you guys. And really, I just hope you guys have a good time. I will be on my social media platform posting some stuff, so go and check me out at Nick Walsh TV everywhere, basically, if you want to take a look. I wrote a thing about I answered some questions to Poker.org so they could write an article, but basically, guys, next year my big goals are going to be fitness. I really want to try and get back in the gym, and just generally speaking, I want to make better choices for my my longevity and my health. I don't want to say I'm the most unhealthy guy in the world, but I definitely could be doing a lot better. So next year is going to be a big health grind. I'm really excited about launching my Bloody Mary company. It's already been launched effectively. We're just trying to get our first product out and in production. I think you guys are really going to enjoy that. Just putting the final touches on the recipe now, and I think it's absolutely killer. I think you guys are going to love it. I do want to play more live cash. I might even do some live cash sort of vlogging or something like that, or some sort of a way you guys can follow along with the grind there, because I enjoy that, and it's something that I seem to be okay at. I seem to always do quite well in years, playing live cash. And we might return to the Spin Go streets. You never know. So, yeah, I'm going to clock off there, guys. I love you all very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your year. And as always, hit me up on socials if you ever want to have a chat, or if there's anything you want to talk about poker related on Discord or whatever. I'm always here for you guys. I love you all. I'm going to sign up for now. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy whatever. Whatever you guys are doing over the holiday period. I hope you guys have a good time. And I love you, and I appreciate you all.